Hey guys, my name is Amanda. I'm super excited to be partnering with the Feedfeed on this Instagram story series called Foraging. So once a week on my own Instagram, I post a little series about me making dinner for me and my family with whatever I've got in my fridge. So a little bit of background about me. I am a food stylist and professional cook living in Los Angeles, and I post lots and lots of food videos on my own Instagram account. And then also started this fridge foraging series that I do every Wednesday night on my own Instagram stories. But let's stop talking and start cooking and start fridge foraging. So welcome to my refrigerator. I organized it kind of this past weekend, so it's not too crazy in here, but usually it's pretty stuffed in there. So first let's get started with some proteins. I've got some salmon I want to pull out, and then I think and some chicken thighs. So chicken thighs, salmon, and then I noticed these cherry tomatoes that I'm going to grab as well. And then let's see what kind of vegetables I can pull out. So I'm going to grab this kale, a big thing of kale, and I think I have a cucumber somewhere in here. See, it's not the most organized. Ah, there it is. Okay. So here are our options. First, the chicken thighs. I've got bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs that I was going to cook in like a cast iron skillet, and then cook off these potatoes that I had that I got at the farmer's market yesterday, and then do something kind of like wilt down or blister these tomatoes and put them over the wilted tomatoes over the chicken. I've also have kind of lots of greens, herbs. I've got basil and thyme. So I was thinking about adding thyme to these tomatoes, maybe some basil at the end. And then I've also got this kind of like chimichurri, everything green sauce to drizzle over too. So on the other end of the spectrum, we're gonna do something with this salmon. So I was thinking salmon kebabs, marinated in some miso, some mirin, and soy sauce, and then serve that with some rice, and then some sort of cucumber salad. And then maybe if it still needs it, I was gonna wilt down some of this kale to serve alongside. So salmon kebabs, or other side of the spectrum, we've got this kind of really nice chicken dish that's very summery. Okay, we're going with option number one, mostly because I wanna show you the easiest and tastiest way to cook chicken thighs. And also I'm not sure how much longer those tomatoes are gonna last in my fridge. So option number one it is. Okay, we're going with option number one, mostly because I want to show you the easiest and tastiest way to cook chicken thighs. And also I'm not sure how much longer those tomatoes are going to last in my fridge. So option number one it is. Okay, so here's the plan. We're going to brown the chicken breasts in a cast iron skillet, skin side down, and then remove them, and then remove any kind of extra fat from the pan. Put the tomatoes in there, blister them with maybe a little thyme, remove the tomatoes, put the chickens back in, skin side up, and cook for like 25 minutes. So I used to work in the Williams-Sonoma test kitchen, and my coworker at the time taught me this technique for chicken thighs. It's super easy, and it always kind of creates the tastiest, most tender chicken thighs. So I wanted to share it with you. And then also I'm gonna just really easy cook off those potatoes. I've got my chicken thighs. I added a little salt on top. I've got my cast iron skillet warming over here with a little olive oil. We're gonna do skin side down, and these are gonna sizzle. My chicken is nice and brown. We're gonna put it on a plate to the side, and then we're gonna remove any of that kind of like extra oil in there. So to that same pan, let's add the tomatoes. I'm gonna sizzle. And then a big pinch of salt and some thyme. So while my tomatoes cook down and blister, let's take care of these potatoes. So I washed and scrubbed the potatoes. I have them in an even layer in this pan. We're gonna add 3 cups of water, just until it's covered with water. And then to that, we're gonna add about a tablespoon of salt. I know it seems like a lot of salt, but what's gonna happen is we're gonna boil off the water, and the salt's gonna remain and salt the potatoes and cook them at the same time. So I had originally planned to cook off the tomatoes separately and then just keep them warm while the chicken cooks, but I think I'm just gonna cook it all together. I'm sick of waiting for these to blister, so we're gonna do it all together. So I added in some lemon slices on top and some thyme, and we're gonna throw this into the oven. I've got a 350-degree oven. We're gonna cook for like 20 or 25 minutes. Basically what's gonna happen is those cherry tomatoes are gonna burst and create this really tasty braising liquid for the chicken. So my potatoes are done. You can tell they're done because the water is evaporated, and the only thing that's left is the salt, which is a pretty cool technique. I can't take full credit for it. I read about it in a cookbook, but you can also tell they're done when a knife just goes in really easily, and they do. So let's go ahead and check on our chicken. It smells amazing. It's been in there for about 20 minutes, and all of those cherry tomatoes have popped and made this really delicious braising sauce. But best way to tell if chicken is done is to use a meat thermometer. So here's our final meal for the night. We have that salt crusted potatoes, which are so tasty. I love that technique of just cooking it with salt and water. The leftover chimichurri kind of green sauce we're gonna put on top of the potatoes, and then this gorgeous plate of chicken. I added just some basil and thyme to the top of this. You could also add Parmesan cheese if you wanted to, but I think it's kind of perfect as it is. So make sure to serve the chicken along with those potatoes, and then drizzle some of that yummy, delicious juice all over the chicken and potatoes. Okay, there you have it. That is dinner tonight. It looks super tasty. I'm really excited about it. So I'll put the recipe on the next screen, so make sure to take a screenshot. Okay, so I'm going to be doing these Feedfeed Instagram fridge foraging stories once a month, so tune in next time. It smells delicious in here, so I'm going to go eat. I'll see you next time.